for a good solid month. In a particular environment. Set, humidity, temperature. How was the team up with a new project? You still found completion with that compromise as well? Oh, okay. Good. No, as you know, I'm not your psychologist, but I am your sleep therapy. Well, either way, I'm glad you're here, and not just because I get paid. It's because you need it. No, I wouldn't say you look frazzled, but I trust you are. I understand. So you and the hypnosis worked for you? You liked it? Okay. You didn't mind that I mentioned it ahead of time, anything like that? Okay. Well, a lot of people have kind of mixed emotions about the concept of hypnosis. So I'm glad to see that you're okay with it. You're comfortable with the whole thing, and me being your therapist to help you sleep. Yeah, well, I wanted to start by going over a sort of a different level here. So sleep is the greatest determinant of your mental well-being, I believe. It's way up there. A lot of people that are having mental issues, they don't get good sleep. Well, you're aware. But, so I did want to go over just a whole viewpoint that we want to have when we go to sleep. And there is a bit of preparation if you want to keep these practices up and continue sleeping well. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but the time that you get back in the form of mental well-being, it's immense. I'd say at least it's fivefold. That's the figures my other clients have told me, at least. Okay, so first of all, there's a sleep has to be a part of your day that some people like to say they look forward to. Either way, it's a thing to be respected, a time investment for certain. It's, I like to say, it's a point of finality onto your day. And at the point where you want or need to go to sleep especially, you need to be comfortable with what you've done and maybe haven't done. But for these purposes, I'd like to describe it more as you need to be comfortable with the point at which you are with your goals, regardless. If you can't work in that sort of comfort and that worry, those nerves, they can keep you going, keep you up. And even if they don't, even if you do fall asleep, they can also sort of wreck your sleep quality, which is not what we're looking for. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Very good. Yeah, just like that. So, yeah, exactly. So, a finality to your day. Respect the time invested in sleep. This is a time to be looked forward to. It's something we all need, and that's not changing anytime soon. Exactly. So this is the visualization that I've come up with that has worked rather well for not only my clients but myself. I use this at least every other night. Sometimes I don't need it. Sometimes I fall right asleep, but sometimes it's something to fall back on, and it works very well. I want you to visualize a point on the horizon picture yourself in your bed trying to go to sleep. You've already done a couple other things that we've talked about to help you relax and just respect the phase that's coming, like I said a little bit ago. And then what you're going to do with your eyes closed is visualize a point on the horizon. And you don't need to visualize a road, but it's helpful conceptually to think of it as a horizon, something on or a bit above the horizon. And what this does is we orient our neck and head so that when we think of the word horizon and looking straight on it, we put ourselves in a comfortable alignment. And that's what we want. We don't want to be visualizing or looking in a weird way with our eyes closed that would make us uncomfortable or dizzy or anything like that. What we want is comfort. So the comfortable spot is on the horizon or just above it. And you can feel free to visualize a dirt road if you like. Some people like a dirt road, say a gravel road, paved road, any path at all. It could be in the middle of the woods. It can be a path less traveled. It can be a path well traveled. Any path that comforts you, that you like to imagine, if at all. Maybe you just need the horizon, maybe just that point. So some people on the horizon, they like to imagine the sun setting. It's no longer hurting your eyes at all. It's just pleasant to look at. The leftover remnants of light from our viewpoint, a falling sun, setting. So it's a nice glow, which also helps you sleep. Well, it's believed that the color red, it's been studied that red helps you sleep. And I think that's very natural. When you think of the colors of green, yellow, and blue, it's of the grass, the sun, and the sky. All of things associated strongly with daytime brightness, a liveliness, and awakeness. Red, on the other hand, is kind of the sun as well, but it's after it's interacting with all the things coming on the horizon, in this shallow layers of the earth above, relatively shallow, over the surface, and where it becomes dark orange and red. That's the kind of red that people don't think about when they think about red now. A lot of people like to associate it with anger or something like that. It's quite the opposite when you go back. And that's why it can be kind of minorly harmful when you form these associations and kind of forget our more natural leanings. The setting sun. It's so beautiful. It's there for you tomorrow. It was there for you today. Looking at the setting sun, you can think about all the activity that you've done, all the goals you've achieved, all the objectives you've come closer to throughout the day. look back on your work, feel accomplished. Feeling accomplished is one of the greatest drivers mentally for us to feel secure, able, comfortable with our abilities. So red, exactly. I myself, I imagine the setting sun, just the leftover dark orange and red notes, and it's very nice. So this visualization is what we'll want to come back to during your assumed minor and few and far between, let's hope, complications while you're sleeping. And it's this way that I always want you to look at such complications while you sleep. If you dwell on them, if you stress about them, it's only going to hurt your sleep even further. At the time you lay down to go to bed, essentially, it behooves you to be in such a state of acceptance that you can handle any bumps that come up while you're trying to fall asleep. Accept them. Accept the thoughts that come to you. And as I go further through this visualization and thought process that I want you to have, this perspective, you'll learn also to appreciate the thoughts that come to you. And don't be scared of them or the fact that they're coming to you. A sort of acceptance that they're there. And also just a thankfulness that your brain is trying to help you. That's what it's trying to do. It's trying to wrap up all of the thoughts of the day, of anything having to do with some larger objectives you may have been trying to tackle. It's trying to wrap things up for you, give you a sense of resolution. And if you don't feel a sense of resolution, it's going to try and give it to you, maybe forcefully. And that's oftentimes where these imaginings come in. So allowing these things to happen, I want you to hone in on this word, allow. Allow. Mm-hmm. And if you'd like, you can lay on the daybed is exactly for that. Yeah, that's fine. Please feel free. Lay down, and if you feel comfortable that you can, hear the rest of this, then feel free. Yeah, close your eyes, and I'll give you a moment. Yeah, it's not so bad, is it? It's quite comfy. Yeah, well, I shopped around. Of course, this is a sleep clinic. Okay, so now that you're all tucked in your own way, there's another couple words that happen to rhyme, and it's much easier to remember. In the same sense that you're trying to allow thoughts to occur, and you're believing that your mind is trying to help you. This is a very helpful perspective. We're also going to try and allow a pace of things to come and go. Those thoughts, those pictures that are showing up in your mind that aren't that horizon, we can allow them to come and go at their own pace. So if it's quickly, if it's slowly, just allowing them to happen, it helps them also go again. So you can come back to the horizon, or better yet, just straight fall asleep. Remember, it's not as important to keep the imagery of the horizon and the sun setting and this path or whatever you want around it. It's more important to fall asleep. So if you're feeling that general sense of fatigue and relaxation especially, fall into it. That's exactly what we want. There's no need to fight that. In fact, the word fight should be completely out of your vocabulary as far as my directions for sleep are concerned, in these first few at least. Fighting is more for lucid dreaming, I would say, which is still fun and can be oddly relaxing. The other word that rhymes with pace is space. This is the number one word I keep in mind when I'm allowing things to come. Give them their own space. Allow them their space to come into your view, your mind, your imagination. We allow these things to happen. Give them their space. They're trying to help. They're trying to help. And for that purpose, we let them. We let them come and go. I'll be in a limited way sometimes. There's no error in limiting them if you can, but again, that can be a bit advanced. So at first, when you're getting used to this visualization and this minutia of control that we like to have to better our sleep, you're going to just let them come and go. Let them come, let them go. And if you feel a bit of room for control, not so much a push and pull, but rather a nudging. Just nudge them back. Nudge them this way, nudge them that. A force so minute that the thoughts themselves don't even know that they're changing. Much like the way you can take care of children or a pet. They don't quite catch on that you're manipulating them in a very, very minor way. Yeah, keep it minor, exactly. You do look relaxed. I'm glad you like that daybed I have there. Oftentimes people come here not quite at daytime. They come here after sunset, so perhaps I should rename it my evening bed. Let's see, some notes here. Yes, and these thoughts that come to us, we want also to respect the fact that when you get better at this visualization, this looking back to that point on the horizon, and try to think of it as a point so you can come back to that very area when you need. We're allowing the thoughts to come, especially if you feel at all that they are crucial. Now your brain will try and feed you only crucial thoughts. Once you trust it, it will. But it will do this even more so after you've worked at the very small amount of manipulation, just the nudging. Something's coming into your view with your eyes shut, of course, your imagination, and you say to yourself, oh, I don't think it would help me to think about that today, tonight. Maybe I can think about that tomorrow, and then you do your own nudge. But another thought comes, and it's exactly what hasn't occurred to you, or you can feel that it's something you need to face on some level or another. And it doesn't mean that you need to have a confrontation inwardly at all. It's just your brain often asks you very, very simple things. It just wants you to keep note of something. Just remember this. Remember this. Remember this. It just comes in. Hey. Hey. Hey, you remember? Okay. Point on the horizon with the orange and red sun. The red sun, which eventually turns to a deep violet, beyond indigo, to a deep violet. This color, beautiful, layered, and is so rare in our actual daily life. This is why we appreciate it when we see it. Those rare hues of the sun going down, already gone, ready to immerse you in darkness. And that darkness is where you can always find the horizon again. That little bit of remainder of the sunlight. Just the barest amount glowing off the side of the planet that you can't even see. The glow curves around the surface and reaches you, refracting off countless particles, presenting you with a deep red or purple, whichever you prefer to look at. And now when it's time, ultimately, to fall asleep, you'll have not only that feeling of fatigue, hopefully of accomplishment, you'll have the comfort of knowing you did your best today. And I'm sure in many ways, maybe you didn't, but this is what you need to remember. Accept your day. Be at peace with what happened. It can shape your perspective tomorrow. It can shape your perspective now. It can help you drift away. Drift away. You look very comfortable. How is your horizon treating you? That's excellent. It's fantastic to hear. Thank you. Oh, my pleasure. Yes. What color do you see? I like that. Yes, that's very you've accomplished, all that you've yet to accomplish. You can control the way you see what you've done, what you've yet to do. And the more fair you are to others, tomorrow and today, the better. You can be carried away in this moment. Be at peace. Understand yourself. Understand your limitations more than anything. Challenge yourself, but not too much. Base your goals out. Give yourself space. Space. To think. To look back. Very good. It is now I want to offer some sounds that allow for our human-like error. Something that I can only control a small amount. This paper. As you see, I have an idea of what sounds I might make, but ultimately there is a large swath of possibility in sound and direction that I cannot control. And when we crinkle, we accept this margin of error crinkle, a particular type of paper. Day in, day out, for a good solid month. In a particular environment. Set humidity, temperature. Even the wetness on their hands. To know exactly the gamut of what to expect in the random sounds being made. To know when particular puffs of sound might happen, when the paper didn't want to fold that way quite yet. And as if to say, why did you bend me this way? It makes a loud sound. This is what we must accept from our own minds from time to time. This margin of what could be error in handling a piece of paper is just simply our humanity for our brain. We must learn to work with what you're given. In this case, I could choose the piece of paper. I could control the temperature and humidity to some degree, my nerves and my pacing. But my brain, yes, we do have some control. But aren't we also somewhat at its mercy? Appreciate the power of your mind. Appreciate what it can do. Work with your brain. Even when you're working against it, work in the direction it chooses just for a moment before you do that little nudge. That little nudge. 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 I'm going to nudge that thought away. self-adoration in the form of rest. 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 I open myself up to you. My mind. I bare myself to you. You're always there when I need you. And sometimes you're there when I don't. I understand. You're doing what I told you. You're doing what you were told. Or sometimes you're trying to save me. You can be tricked so easily. I don't like to admit that, but it's your very vulnerability that I can use to help me now. That point on the horizon, the sun, long gone, a distant, deep color. I can still see the purple. I can still see the red. I look forward to tomorrow and to have a good, productive day then. I appreciate the need for sleep, for sleep, for sleep, for sleep. Now, thank you. Thank you for being there for me, with me, and to challenge me sometimes against me. This has